and I said, sir, I said, you're going to be president one day. And a tear, I'm not much of a crier. I'm usually much more of a, on fire type of person, but a tear ran down my eye. And I said, but I hate the price that you're going to pay. Little would any of us have ever imagined the price that this man, his family, and many of us have paid. But I have to ask you something, and I know what he would say. Is the price worth it? Absolutely.
June 14th, 1946, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God gave us Trump.
The Democrats and the fake news media want to constantly talk about, oh, President Trump is a convicted felon. Well, you want to know something? The man that I worship is also a convicted felon.
You think about Jesus Christ himself. Everybody went against him because he was preaching love and doing what was right for the people. And Trump's doing what's right for this nation. And because he's doing that, everybody is against him.
He's cast himself as a martyr, compared himself to Jesus.
Just thank God for President Trump. He's the hands and feet of Jesus.
Indicted for you. My first thought went to, well, Jesus Christ died for my sins. Jesus died for me.
One post linked to a Washington Examiner op-ed titled, The Crucifixion of Donald Trump.
What I was hearing the Lord say was...
It's the mainstream media here. If you're here, I want you to hear. I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you do in your newsroom. I don't care about your plans and your schemes to bring this nation down with your Democratic friends. Why? Because Jesus Christ is still on the throne. You may have your news cameras and your satellites and your 24-hour news, but Jesus Christ holds the world in his hands. And he holds me in it as well. And what he has for me, you cannot keep from coming true. It may not be the governor's mansion. It may not be any political seat. But you will not stop Jesus Christ's will in my life.
Huh? You don't shit your dumbass. All right.
It doesn't matter. They're like, we need Trump. You know what I mean? So if they're echoing that, you know what I mean, and they're not even in the United States, that speaks volumes.
Especially now, because we talk about what's happening within our country, but I always say that President Trump is not just about uniting the country. He's about uniting the world. And by doing so, he will bring peace to Democrats and to Republicans. And I think
Superman, you know what I mean? The world needs Superman right now. He is the guy that's going to do it. He's standing up to the deep state. Look at, he's proven it. They're throwing at the kitchen sink at him. I mean, they're basically, messing up our entire judicial system because they're scrambling. They're scared because they see all of this. Look at all the support. We were at the Las Vegas rally, and it was huge. It was huge. And just you feel the love everywhere you go. I wear MAGA shirts, and people are fist bumping me, high-fiving. They feel the energy. They know now's the time. Now.
Me with strong, I'm Donald J. Trump. He wasn't timid.
Now's the time.
I love hearing that. I always think of, do you remember Superman 2 when he lost his power to fall in love with Lois Lane? They had to take away his power and the whole world fell apart. They're like, we need you back. And I remember literally things were blowing up. Everything was happening and he came back and obviously everything got fixed. And I often think about that analogy, which is funny that you said that. But I mean, how they tell you to see, believe what you actually see.
So, Pastor Mark Burns, thanks so much for joining us again. I can tell you, with Louisiana, that whole thing of them allowing the commandments to be in the classroom, you must be really thrilled about that.
I mean, to say posting the 10 Commandments is not enough.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, posting the 10 Commandments isn't going to convey their meaning and significance and importance to students across the state of Louisiana. You actually have to have teachers who will teach the importance of these documents and how they fit into the American story, how they fit into Western civilization. And the problem is that teachers and administrators have taken these things out of the curriculums because, for the most part, they're radicals and they're working to undermine the tenets of Western civilization and really of Christian civilization that were the bedrock of this country. So if you want to really do good and teach students what what this country is about, you have to teach the Ten Commandments, and that means you have to do something about the curriculum.
Because he's a fool! Because he's a nut!
Jesus, prayer, and Bibles out of our school and out of the public square. And part of President Trump's primary mission, he's got a lot of things to do, but an overview of what he's got to do is bring back, part of making America great again is bringing back the Judeo-Christian values that this country was founded on back into mainstream society at every level. So we need to have...
State of Louisiana, the governor and the legislature there decided to do this. Obviously, they're trying to provoke a Supreme Court contest so they can overturn a previous decision that said you can't have the Ten Commandments in school. And that's a good project so far as it goes. But, you know, again... this isn't about Trump. This isn't really even about displaying anything. This really should be about getting back to the foundation of what America is about. America was founded as a Christian country on Christian principles. And by the way,
he could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
Explain that to me. That's amazing. I mean,
look, he's the only man we've ever had in my lifetime that stood for America as president. Now, I was a George Herbert Walker Bush man and all that, but...
This isn't even just about Christianity. The Ten Commandments is recognized by multiple religions. So Trump is not about Christian nationalism or, you know, white supremacy or anything like this. This is basic stuff. There was a time in this country where every school student could recite the Ten Commandments and tell you why they were important. And that's the kind of thing we need to get back to. And to do that, you have to go after the teachers and the school administrators who have excised this stuff from our public schools.
Yeah, well, you wrote an excellent op-ed.
This is a great day for the body of Christ throughout all of America. I mean, people prophesy. And I believe that this is God's last reproof. What President Trump becoming the 47th president and laws like this that's happening in Louisiana and God giving favor with people like me. I am, as you know, running for U.S. Congress, endorsed.
We're going to kick Joe Biden in the head and tell that old man to retire because he don't need to be president no more. And we're going to reelect the greatest president, the blackest president that we've ever had in the United States of America, and that's Donald J. Trump.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Back the fuck up. I'll knock the fuck out you. Damn, man. Hey. By President Donald Trump here in South Carolina's 3rd Congressional District, where God is calling real men of God who fear him, who honor his word, honor the Ten Commandments, where it's been placed inside every school classroom in Louisiana. This is, I believe, God's last reproof to save our nation.
Exactly, and I can agree with you more. I mean, at the end of the day, this country needs a...
We hit them hard. We hit them low, we hit them high. We hit them in the middle, we hit them from on top, and we even came under the ground.
We're going to kick Joe Biden in the head and tell that old man to retire because he don't need to be president no more. And we're going to reelect the greatest president, the blackest president that we've ever had in the United States of America, and that's Donald J. Trump.
Hardest we have to win. We have to hit our enemies hard. We have to hit them and treat them with respect. But if they don't treat us with respect, we have to do things because our country's in trouble. We don't have the same country that we had 3 years ago.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, there's but one way to the Father, and that is through his Son, Jesus Christ. Now, that doesn't exclude anybody that doesn't believe what we believe, because I know that there are so many different faiths that believe and support President Trump. But this is a Jesus nation. This is a God nation. It was founded on Judeo-Christian principles. And so
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
This should be celebrated. My prayer is South Carolina follows suit and other states begin to follow suit to bring the Ten Commandments back into the schools and bring prayer back into the schools, because when there was prayer, there was less mass shootings. Children were not killing themselves at the alarming rate that they are now. People aren't being bullied as much like they are now when God's presence was back in the school. We got to get back to the basics.
President Trump said recently on Truth Social about the Ten Commandments that I love the Ten Commandments in public schools, private schools, and many other places for that matter. Read it. How can we, as a nation, go wrong? This may be, in fact, the first major step in the revival of religion, which is desperately needed in our country. Bring back TTC MAGA 2024. Can you not say it better than that, Pastor?
You can't say it better than that. I mean, the president is a way with words. When he did my endorsement video, he didn't have to do a second take or third take. He just did it one time because he is gifted in that area. And what he just said is powerful. This is the first stage of bringing God back to the center of American politics and American culture, which has been my theme of my campaign. So we are all here excited here at Mark Burns for Congress that God is doing this in Louisiana, and I believe it's a Kickstarter for what's going to happen in the rest of the United States of America.
And also all of the woke junk, basically, that's being thrown at the youth right now. I mean, this is a perfect time to change the tide and turn it around, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, again, the woke agenda, the critical race theory, pushing, transgender agendas, calling parents, domestic terrorism, pushing, like I said, the woke agenda that's using racism to supposedly defeat racism, that you can't use racism to beat racism. All of this is from the gates of hell, and they're pushing this agenda.
God literally gave us Donald Trump imperfect as most men or women that God raises up in history. But he is a man of steel. He is a man who has ice water in his veins. He is a man who gets stronger for attack. And so they have already put him through hell with all these show trials and rigged courts, civil and criminal. And they are going to try to assassinate President Trump. Make no mistake about that. They are going to try to pull out all the stops. And so we've got to pray for President Trump many times a day.
So that was a f***ing lie.
And we've got to bust our rear ends to get out there in America, because the people are waking up and they're ready to become fully awake, and let them know that the WF and the UN and Bill Gates have said they're bringing new lockdowns, more forced injections.
So that was a f***ing lie.
Oh, hi, Mark.
It's about time.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I'm gonna come. Oh.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You serious?
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Off the farms. They're cutting off the energy. And if you think the economy in free fall right now is bad, it is going to be 10 times worse. So this is existential. We are at war with the globalists, and we must now recognize that this is a war. This is just as important as 1776, and in the context of the population of the world and the weapons we have now, it is more important. This is a continuation of the fight between free, open societies and tyrannical world government. And the left represents the most evil, wicked, anti-free market corporations on the planet, led by BlackRock, that thinks it controls your life.
We're going to take a quick break.
What a lunatic, dude.